As many of you know, we've been on a series to create this whole UI design I did with Adobe XD into a fully functional website using WordPress and the page builder called Elementor. And in this video, we are going to be taking care of the last three sections of this particular design, which is this newsletter, the purchase section, and then the footer area as well. So stay tuned, guys. If you haven't seen the other videos that covered these whole other sections, I'll leave a link up in the card and also down in the description below. You can check that out, guys. All right, without further ado, let's finish this up. Okay, we are back in our page builder Elementor, and the first thing you want to do is create this newsletter right here. So as you can see, it is not touching the edge of the page itself. It is just in the middle. Okay, so let's see how we can achieve that. First, I'll create a section with a single column, and then I'll drag in an inner section into this column. Okay, and then the next thing I want to do is give this section a color. But first of all, let's make this section a full width and then no gap. Okay, then I'm going to give it a color, which is this color we have right here. So I'm just going to copy that and come down to the style tab and expand the classic and then paste my color in here. So as you can see, it is just like that. The next thing, I'm going to come to the advanced tab, unlink the padding and give it a padding top of 70 pixel and bottom 70 pixel as well. Then I'm just going to copy this heading and paste it in here. Sorry. Okay, so by default it has this black color and some padding to the bottom. So first, let's take care of the padding, of the margin rather. So what you just do is, click on this so everything gets this 0% pixel all around, and then you want to come to the style and change the color. So in the color, I'm just going to drag it to the way up to make it white, and then I'm going to align it to the right, the left. And I'm just going to say be the first to know. Be the first. Okay. Now I'm going to drag in a form widget from Elementor. I'm just going to search for form. And then this is it right here. So I'm just going to drag. This is a default form that comes with the Elementor. None of any other tool is being used here. None of any other plugin is being used. Just everything is from Elementor. Okay, so I'm going to take off the name and then take off the message. What we just need is the email. So now I'm going to expand this and then give it a width of 60, or probably let's do 66. And now I want to change the placeholder to your email according to what we have here. So now I'm going to copy this color. As you can see, the button is still below. So how you can put that aside is, that is why we gave this email the 66%, so we can use the other space there for the button. So in this case, we're just going to use, let's say 33, just like that. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is come down to the style tab, and then let me go down to the button and give it our background color, which is this color. And in the hover tab, I want to make the text the color and then the background white. Get something like this. Okay, now in the typography, I'll make the text Montserrat. and then the weight, I'm gonna leave it as 600 and leave every other thing like that. So I want to change the button text to submit. Okay, go back to the style tab. In the buttons section, I'm going to give it a 0 border radius and then unlink this as well. So I'm going to say let's say 17 and 17 as well. Okay, I think that is fair. So to make this also line up with the button, I'm going to come to the field right here, and I want to give the border radius 0. I don't need any border radius, border width rather, and then the border radius as well 0. And I'm going to come to the typography, make the font Montserrat, which is already Montserrat by default, and then the weight 600 as well. And the next thing I want to do is give it some line height so we can have a consistent height. About let's see, about that. Okay, 2.3 is okay. Now the next thing I want to do is give this whole section, this whole column where the form is. I'm going to come down to the advanced tab and then unlink the padding, and then on the right I want to give it a 50 pixel padding, and I'll do the same thing for the first column, which is the text, the heading column. The first, let me align it to the middle and do the same thing to this as well. Let's align it to the middle and then come back to this column, the first column, go to the advanced tab, unlink it. We gave a 50 pixel column to the right, a 50 pixel padding to the right, and then in this column we're going to be giving a 50 pixel padding left, not right, this season. Okay, so with that we'll achieve this particular design. But if you observe, this is not aligned properly, the button is not aligned properly. If you look closely, it is because there is this label at the top of the button. Let me show you what I mean. Just click on the button to edit it, come down to the content, and you see where it says label, it is showing automatically. So as soon as I unlink this, as you can see, everything stays right in the middle, which is what we are trying to achieve. So now I'm going to come to the overall section right here, the general section, not the inner section, this section, and I'm going to come to the advanced tab. So what I want to do is unlink the margin and give it a negative margin of 100. If that is too much, we'll make it 90. So we have this design. I think the 90 is also too much. Let's do 70 in this case. Okay, 70 is fine. So if you see right here, we are trying to achieve what we have here. There is this amount of spacing in between the testimonial and the newsletter. Okay, so with that, we are done with that part. Let's see the mobile view of it. Okay, so what you want to do here is, first of all, unlink the padding in both column. Unlink the padding in both column so it becomes this way, and then now give it a padding right of 10 pixel and left of 10 pixel. Then click on the text and place it in the center, and now go to the advanced tab and give it a padding bottom of 30 pixel, just like that. So we have this for the mobile version, which is really cool. Okay, now let's go back to the desktop version and see how we can achieve our purchase area right here, which is the main aspect of this landing page. Of course, every landing page, every showcase landing page, product showcase, you want to make someone buy something from it. So basically the purchase PM section is always the most important. So how do we achieve that? Let's come down here and give a two column section, and the height, I want to give it a minimum height of let's say 70. Okay, let's just make the column height, the minimum height 100, view height, and let's give it a color. We have a color right here, background color, so I'm just going to click on that and copy this color, and then I'm going to come down to the style tab, expand the classic, and then paste in my color. So we have this color right here. The next thing I want to do is come down to the column, the first column, vertically align it to the middle, and do the same thing for the second column, align to the middle. Oh, sorry. Yeah, align to the middle. Okay. Now, I'm going to drag in a slide. Yeah. Okay. So now the next thing I want to do is paste in a couple of CSS code that I wrote. If you watch the previous landing page design I posted on this channel, you would be familiar with that particular code. So I'm just going to copy the code. So I'm just going to come down to the advanced tab, scroll down to where it says custom CSS, and then I'm going to paste in the code. So this was the code I used for the previous um, landing page. I will leave a link so you can see the design. If you like it, there's also a download link there. You can download the whole complete template for your own personal use or for a project. There is no copyright attached to it. Okay, so I'm just going to make a few tweaks. First of all, the width is too big, so I'm using a 60 pixel width and 60 pixel height. And then for the padding, I'm going to make it 17, so it sits in the middle just like that. Okay, so let's take a look at the mobile. I think the mobile view is just fine like that. Now I want to unlink the padding so that everything fits just right. I'll do the same thing for here as well, so everything fits just right in. Okay, so come back to the slide. I'm going to come to the content, give this a view height of about, let's see, 65. 65 is fine in this case. So I'm going to come down to the slider option. I do not need this dots right here. I only need the arrows. So I'm just going to make use of arrows alone, no dots. And then I don't want it to autoplay. I want the customers to slide through themselves to choose the colors they actually want. So I'm going to unlink the autoplay and then probably leave the infinite loop. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so now I'll put in my content. The first thing I want to do is remove this color. I guess I'll just use this color right here. So I'll copy this color code. I'll come down here and paste the color code here. I'll do the same thing for others, just like that. And I think I'll just delete these two. So we have only this one for now. Then I'll remove this content. I'll delete the title, delete the description, and where it says click here, I'll make it purchase. As you can see here, we have purchase. So I'll just say purchase. Exactly like that. Okay, now the next thing is to duplicate this content. So I'll duplicate it first, duplicate it again. Now let's paste in our image. So where it says background, I'll come down there and then I'll click on this. So I'm just going to select these PNG images. They are transparent files. I remove the colors, the borders from it, to leaving only the sneakers there. So I'm going to paste in that. So as soon as I paste in the image, The next thing I'm going to do is where it says size, I want to make that contain instead of cover. So contain is what we are trying to achieve here. So I'll do the same thing for others as well. First, let me delete this again and duplicate this so we have the same consistent settings. So I'll choose this other color, go here, choose the next color, and finally this color. Okay, so now let's work on the button. So I'll go to the style tab, come down to the button. As you can see, the button has a white background, but a transparent white background that someone can easily see through. So what I'm going to do is come down to the button, and the border radius, the border width, I want to make that 0. The border radius as well 0. So I'm going to come where it says text color, I'll make it a black color, something around that. And then come down to the typography, give it a 600 width. Now come back to the background color and give that a white color, then reduce the opacity to about that. Okay, now come to the hover and then repeat the same thing. This the dark color for the text. Then this time around we'll be using a white color without any opacity, so that as soon as someone hovers over it, it comes to life like that. So you easily know it is a button for you to click. Okay, so with this being done, let's see what we have already. Okay, this is looking good. As you can see, we can slide through any of the images, any of the colors we want, and then select a particular color and just hit the purchase button. And we can link this to maybe your PayPal account, or your wherever you want to link it to, maybe your WhatsApp or anywhere. You can just link the button down there, and it will take them down there instantly, and they can make their payment, whatever they want to do. Okay, so let's come to this other section, go to the style tab and make let's make the color white like that. We need to give this section a color. Come down to the style tab and then give it this color. That is the whole section. Give it a color. So once we do that, we can see the white column here pops out. Okay, so now we're going to copy this and paste it in here. And then we're going to copy this content and then replace with that. Come down to the style tab, change the color to a more darker color like that. For some reason this is in the bottom. Let's see why. We click on the column right here, come down to the layout. Oh, it is placed to the bottom instead of middle. It's supposed to be in the middle and not the bottom. Okay, so I will come down to the style tab while selecting the heading, style, and then the typography. I want to make this a let's do 900, and then let's increase the size to about that. Let's make it 80. Okay, let's do 70. Okay, so the line height, let's reduce that like that. And now let's give a let's put this text in the middle and see first. Hmm. No, that won't work. Let's do this manually. Okay, so let's align the text back to the left and come down to, or let's click on this column. So come down to the advanced tab and give this a left padding of let's do 50, let's do 60. I think we have to do more. Let's do 80. Okay, I think 80 is fine, or 85. Okay, 85 is okay in this case, just like that. And now let's bring in our text editor. I'll just copy this one. On top of this, I'll paste it so it goes down to the bottom, just like that. And by default, this has some amount of margin to it, so I'm just going to unlink that. So we have this same stuff right here, and then the text is too much, so I'm going to decrease the text a bit, maybe a little bit more. Okay, just like that. And finally, we are done with this section, guys. As you can see, we have what we have here, and then what is left is for us to, if you check closely here, this purchase section is, this newsletter is on top of the purchase section and also the testimonial section. So if you remember, we took this up, the newsletter, we took it up a bit. So it is time to talk the purchase section underneath it as well. So let's do that right now. Okay, now we'll click on the section, go down to the advanced tab, and let's give this a negative margin top. Let's try minus 90. Let's do 100, 105. Okay, I think I prefer 104 in this case. Now if you see, the section is overlapping the newsletter. So what you can do is come down to the newsletter section right here, and where it says Z index under the advanced tab, it says Z index, just increase the number, maybe put it to 1. So the Z index is actually what you want to come first, like what you want people to see. If something is stacking on top of each other, which one do you want to be at the top? So that is just what it is for. So right now, as you can see, it is on top of this section. So what we need to do is, let's open up the navigator and select our last section, which is this purchase section. So I'm going to unlink the padding and give this a padding top of 50, just like that. Okay guys, so this is what we have right now. So as you can see, in less than how many minutes we've been able to achieve this whole website once and for all. And if you look closely, these are aligned accordingly, just like these ones are aligned as well. So guys, we completed the website. Now the final thing, or let me not say the final thing, because we still have to link the whole button together, so that the navigation, as soon as you click on it, it goes to the right tab. So for now, let's create the footer area. So I'm going to click on a section with a column. Let me remove this. Now I'm going to drag in an inner section, because if you look closely, we have, this is a section on its own. This whole box right here is a section with one column, and then this is an inner section with 3 columns, which is 1. How this is categorized as 1, then 2, and then 3. So we have a section with a column, and inside the column we have an inner section with 3 columns. So that is what we need right here. So now we have a section with a column. Let's let's drag in an inner section into it. So by default, inner sections comes with 2 columns. So what we're going to do is on the first column, just right click and then click duplicate. So now we have 3 different columns. So the first thing you want to do is drag in an image on top of the inner section. So on top of the inner section, just like that. And we are going to select our logo, the Nike icon, this big boy right here. There you go. So I'm just going to reduce the size a little bit like that. Okay, I'm going to give this section a padding top and bottom of 50 pixels. Now, in the first section, in the first column of the inner section, I'm going to drag in an icon list into it. It's supposed to go inside. I'll drag it into the first column in the inner section. And this is what we are trying to achieve. This right here, the privacy policy, terms and conditions, and then legal. So we'll come down here and change the content. First, we don't need an icon. What we want here is privacy policy, and then terms and conditions. Terms and conditions, and then legal. So I'll remove the icon and also remove the icon. So for us to be able to make everything on a single line, all you need to do where it says layout, instead of default, just make it inline like that. So with inline, we have to reduce the text. Myself, I think the text is too big, so let's do something like first of all Montserrat, which is supposed to be by default, and then let's make it 12. Yes, just like that. And probably 500. Okay, let's put this column to the center, the middle, and do the same for the other 2 columns. Vertical align middle and vertical align middle. Okay, now we have a copyright. So I'm going to copy this, then paste in a heading into the second column. And now I'm going to paste in what I just copied. Go down to the style tab, typography, Montserrat first, and 12 pixel, 500, and we're just going to align this to the center, just like that. Now in this third column, all you need to do is drag in a social icon. Search for social icon, and you get this. So I'll put it in the third column, just like that. And I'm going to okay, let's go down to the style tab. Let's make the color custom, so we can, decrease this. We don't need that. And then the colors are going to be black. The secondary colors are going to be black, just like that. Now the icon size are really going to be smaller than what is there. No, about 13 or 12. I think I'll just leave it at 12 or 13. Depends on you though. But let me just leave mine at 12. So everything here is 12 pixel font size, 12 pixel font size, and a 12 size icon. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the content. I don't like this Facebook logo, so I'm just going to pick the next logo, the one without the circle. Oh, first of all, come down to where it says all icons and then search for Facebook. So this is the one I really like to use. And yeah, I'm going to drag in as much icon as I can. Let's see, LinkedIn, this one. And then do we have Instagram here? Oh, we do. And what about Reddit? Let's see if we have Reddit. Yes, of course. What else? What else? What else? What else? I think we are pretty much okay with that. Okay, that is enough for me. Okay, guys, so practically you can see we are done with this whole website right here. Let me just align this to the left. Okay, so everything looks fine, but if you look closely, there is this border at the top separating the logo from the inner section. So how do I achieve that? I can just drag in a shape divider, sorry, a divider itself, not a shape divider, but a divider. Put it underneath the logo, and we get something like that. So 100% is fine, solid is fine. Yeah, 1 pixel is fine. Let's reduce the opacity though. So I think about that is fine as well. Oh, it is too bright. Let's reduce the opacity again. Yeah. Okay, I think I like it now. So this is pretty much everything, guys. Let's fix this mobile version. Okay. So for the mobile version, let's bring out the navigator. For the second to the last section, which is the purchase section, I think we are just going to make use of, we're going to deactivate the top um, negative margin top, so everything looks like this. Yeah. And in the column, I'm going to unlink the padding, so we get that. Give it some padding, left and right, 10 pixel each. And then the text, I'm going to place it to the center. Give this section some margin top and bottom. Let's give it a 30, or let's make it 50 pixel top and bottom. Just like that, guys. So now for this part, first of all, let's increase this logo. Let's give it some weight, about 25. Yeah. And then let's align this to the center. Okay, this is already in the middle. Then let's put this as well to the middle. So there we go. We have our footer. Let's see if there's a specific color for the section here. Oh, there is a color for the section. So let's go back to the desktop version and give our footer the color it deserves. So I'm going to come down to the style tab, the classic, and then I'm going to paste in the color. So as you can see, guys, we are done right here. So here is a preview of the website from the beginning. And everything came out beautifully, just like that. So now let's fix the menu. The nav menu, we want them to go to, each and every one of them to go to the right places. But I think we will have to remove this home page because we don't need it here. So but the about should come down here. So I'm just going to add in an anchor. I'll drag this anchor on top of this section. Where do I put this? Okay, you know what? Let's just create a new section and drag the anchor there. Into this section. Okay, so as soon as I click on the about section, I want it to go down to this part all the way here. So the about section ends here. So let's create another section with a single column and then drag in another anchor right here. So let me show you how this anchor works. So right now, this is the anchor tab we are in the content section. We can see the ID of menu anchor. So for example, about. So what they're trying to say is make sure you are not adding any hashtag to whatever you're writing here. Just write only what you want to be here. So for instance, I want features to be here. So this is going to be features. And in the first one, obviously it is the about. So I'm going to write here about. So I'm just going to repeat this for every other section. This right here is the color section. So I'm going to create a column, dragging an anchor again into it, and then call this color. So be mindful of the capital letters right here. If you are using a caps lock, make sure you use it. If you are using an uppercase, make sure you use it in what we're going to do next. So be mindful of these guys. Okay, so right here we have color. Let's come down here. This is going to be called design, and I know that. Okay, so anchor, design, and here testimonials. And we have, okay, let's make here the purchase. Let's start the purchase from this newsletter right here. Of course, you want people to subscribe so that you can email them whenever you have a new product. So let's do that right here. Okay, so I think I'll be needing a navigator in this section. Okay, so we have a section with a column. Okay, so here is our section with the column. So now we are going to drag in an anchor. This is going to be tough because we are not going to see what we are dragging in. So, but we're going to do something. Let's just paste it anywhere for now. And now all you need to do is use the advantage of this navigator and drag the anchor to where it is supposed to be, which is inside that right there. So now we're going to give this a name and call it purchase. So, and that is pretty much everything, guys. So the next step is to go to your dashboard. I'm going to open this in another tab so I can still maintain right here. So I'm going to scroll down and come where it says appearance. I'll hover over that. So I'm going to scroll down, and where it says appearance, I'll hover over that and then click on menus. Okay, so this is the reason why we make use of the custom link, so that we can have our own link pasted in here. So over there, if you remember in the anchor tab, I told you that you don't need any hashtag when you're writing what you're writing. Just write whatever you want. So but here you need an hashtag. Okay guys, you seriously need an hashtag right here. So now in the about section, we're going to write about, just like that. Hashtag about. If you remember, we make use of a capital letter A. A capital letter for the first letters. That's the cap. We capitalized every letter there. So you're going to be using that. Here features will be features. Here colors will be colors. Reviews, we use testimonial for reviews. I think our nav menu is not complete. What we have here is different from what we have right now. So let me see. Oh, we're making use of something else entirely. Okay, let's go back. So about, features, colors, reviews. I think we have the about, the features, the colors, then the design before the reviews, and then purchase. So about, features, colors, we have design. Let's create another custom link, which is hashtag design. Design. So we'll just drag that up before the reviews. Then we have our testimonials, which is the review, and then we have products. So in the product, that's where we'll put our purchase. Just like that, guys. And we are done. So if I should save this, and then I come back here, and while the menu is selected, where it says menu, I want to change that to my Nike sneakers. As you can see right here, the menu I'm using is Nike sneakers. So that's the one I was using before, which is this car landing page, was for the landing page I did It is on my channel, and there is a free template as well there. You can actually download the template and use. So the Nike sneaker is what we need right here, and as you can see, we have everything about features, colors, design, reviews, product. Okay, so even this buy now button, we wanted to link to the purchase as well. So all you just is going to purchase. So now let's save this, let's update it and open it in a new tab entirely. So we are on a new tab, and let's show you how this works. So I'm going to click on the about, and as you can see, it scrolls down to the about section, and this is what we get. And I'm going to click on the features, it takes me to this section. If I should click on the colors, oh, we are missing something. So let me show you what happened there. So let's go to the color section and click on this. So if you look closely, what we have here is color. There is no S on it, but right here where it says colors, I added an S there. So it is either you remove the S here, or you come down here and add the S. So if I should save this, update this, and go back to the page, let it reload. And now if I should click on the colors, you watch what happens. As you can see, it takes me straight to the colors just by adding the S right there. So let's see every other part. The design works just fine. The reviews works just fine. And now the product, it starts from this section, and we can see testimonials here. So as you can see, the purchase button slides through from the bottom upwards, and there you go, guys. And this is the footer area. So guys, we are done with this design. I want to say a very big thank you to everyone who took out time to follow this tutorial to the end. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for the subscribers, those who took their time to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon. I want to say a very big thank you to you too. Thank you very much for supporting me. It really means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. If you find these tutorials helpful, please like the videos, share them with someone. The templates will be given for free. This is when you get the complete template, complete .json Elementor template that you can use for any design at all, any project at all. There is no copyright. All I request for is for you to like the video, share it, comment if you really like it, and that is all, guys. So I'll see you on the next tutorial that I'll be making. Thank you very much. Peace.